Alright everybody, back again for another video here. If you've been wondering why I haven't had any videos up lately, there's a good reason for that. Duck season's been closed. We have splits here in New Jersey, and we happen to have a split where all three zones were closed for about 2 weeks. So I didn't get a chance to hunt it all. Got to catch up on work and pay some attention to my girlfriend and things like that until we get back into the thick of it, which we basically have had happen now. This past Saturday we had our reopener for the North Zone and our opening day for the Coastal Zone. So I hunt coastal a lot. I live down here on the coast. I can hunt, a half mile from my house if I wanted to. It makes it easy for me to go before work and things like that. So I had a couple of really good shoots in the Coastal Zone to start the season out. Right now I'm gearing myself up. It's about 25 degrees out right now. We had a big cold front come through today. So it went from about 65 degrees yesterday to now down in the 20s tonight. So I saw that and I said, you know what? Might be a good day to go get in some gunning before work. So I'm here in the garage, getting a boat together, getting a rig together to go before work tomorrow morning. They got a gale warning up. It's gonna be blowing 20 to 30 out of the northwest. Probably have a blowout tide situation where tides are going to be lower than normal. So you really gotta take all this into account when you're hunting tidal areas here in New Jersey. It's just something else that we have to think about here hunting in this state, as opposed to hunting a farm pond, hunting a flooded cornfield. I don't think they have to worry about tides too much. Floods, yes, floods, I'll give you that, but tides, not so much. So basically what I've done is I'm getting all my decoys together. I'm swapping some things around. So when I hunt on the coast, as I've shown before, I use a lot of black duck decoys. There's a lot more black ducks on the coast, so I have a couple more black ducks in the rig now. I also like to have a couple pintails in there for color. These are some of the fully flocked green head gear. So I like using those. In addition, if there's pintails in the area, this white chest really shows up well from a distance and will attract the attention of all kinds of other birds. Specifically, I've shot a lot of shovelers over these pintail decoys. But what's most interesting to me is I've been seeing a lot of gadwalls around. Actually, a buddy of mine this afternoon got into some gadwalls, and he shot a banded gadwall, which was very unique. So shout out to Billy. Guess it was banded up in Ontario. Pretty interesting. So obviously a bird that's coming down the Hudson River, coming down to the shore here. So obviously what I've done is throwing the gadwall decoys back in the boat. Have a little mix of variety out there for in the morning. Who knows what I'm going to see? Hopefully I see some birds around. So anyway, for my 2 hunts I had over the weekend, and I'm including Monday's hunt because I was off on Monday, and we don't have Sunday hunting here in New Jersey. So I did pretty well. I shot some Canada geese, some teal, some black ducks, mallards. I got a random broadbill. A little early in the season to seeing broadbills, but still nice to see that. I'm going to be able to show you some footage from those hunts. It's kind of hard. As I've gone over in the past, I want to share my hunts with everybody out there, and everyone really enjoys seeing them. But I hunt a lot of really popular areas. I hunt, spots that have been shown to me from friends and from mentors. And I don't want to burn those spots on the internet. So unfortunately, a lot of this footage I shot over the weekend, I can't really put it out there to the general public. Unfortunately, with the way that the internet has been with duck hunting and the way that things have gone, with the proliferation of Facebook and Instagram and message boards and everything else, you can't really put things out there anymore that have landmarks or things where people could figure out exactly where you're hunting. So I'm sure a ton of you would love to see all this stuff, and I'd love to show the footage to you. But I just can't put it out there and burn myself and burn people that have trusted me with their spots. So that's another little tip out there for people getting involved with it. A lot of people are always, where can I hunt? Where should I go? Take me to your spots. There are certain places I'll point people in the right direction, but sometimes, you know, that's just, comes with time. You got to find your own areas to hunt. I've put in so much time learning areas, patterning birds, learning the tides, learning how the wind's going to affect that, yeah, it'd be great to just get a handout and, you know, be like, here you go. Here's all the information you need. I mean, I answer a lot of your questions, and I'm happy to answer questions. But I have some people that get very specific, and unfortunately, I just can't share everything. I got to keep, you know, some stuff a little tight to the vest. But I'll show you what I can show you. Hopefully, I get some more footage that I can share to a wider audience, because I did have some good hunts, and I'm thinking with this weather, we're going to have some good hunts here in the future. So I'm going to finish getting the boat together, take a look at some of this footage. And by all means, please keep asking questions, keep sending me messages. I'm happy to show you how I do all different kinds of things. I'm just not going to take it all my spots. All right, so we've had our 2-week split between our first splits of the season for North and South Zone, and it's been a long 2 weeks of not being able to hunt it all. But tomorrow's Saturday, Coastal Zone's opening, North Zone's reopening, so it's all starting to happen again here. So I have all my gear here together, ready to go for tomorrow morning. And I'm just gonna go and get my boat together, and I've already basically come out here in the garage here. So I already have everything set. I fueled my boat up. I have it full of the decoys I'm going to be bringing for tomorrow. I'm going to hunt the coast, so I'm bringing some pintails, black ducks, mallards, basically kind of my typical coastal puddle duck rig. Boat's all fueled up, ready to go. Have all my decoys in there. I just need to hook it up to the truck in the morning. I like keeping everything inside the garage nice and warm when it's overnight. So we just had a cold front come through. It dropped from about 60 degrees the other day. It's gonna be about 25 tonight. So we got a nice north wind. We got a clear moon. It'll be interesting to see if we have any birds push tonight. I don't really know what to expect tomorrow. There were some good bird counts around before this snap. We'll see if anything new came in, what pushed out, but it could be pretty interesting. So we'll see what happens. So we got about 15 minutes to go before legal here. Pretty quiet in terms of other hunters. Not many guys at the ramp this morning. I was actually the only one there when I launched. I got a guy that's set up kind of across from me here, but he's a good enough distance. It shouldn't screw me up too much. A lot of birds around in the dark, a lot of teal, mallards, black ducks. So see what happens here in about 15 minutes or so. It's about 25 degrees, got a good northwest wind blowing. Looks good, so see what happens. Interesting. So here's one where a black duck worked me and it short stopped me outside my decoys. So in this situation, a lot of times I will use the Duck Commander Mallard Drake whistle. It's a good confidence call. It doesn't seem to startle black ducks. And I started using it on this bird, but I quickly realized it wasn't reacting because it was a drake, and that's a drake call. So I switched to a hen black duck call and just was kind of giving it some content little clucks.
and it basically swam right into the decoys. So it swam into range, I jumped it, as you'll see I crippled it, but I ended up getting it after all. But just a little tip there, if you can identify whether it's a drake or a hen, that can kind of determine what kind of call to use in a certain situation.
Those did it right.